Hi you guys, so today I wanted to try something new and I decided to record myself while doing some bridesmaid makeup for a client of mine. So first I'm just going to be prepping her skin by using some of my Garnier Micellar water on a cotton pad just to remove any oils or previous makeup she may have had on. Next I'm just going to be priming her skin. She brought me some of her Mary Kay foundation primer and SPF because she knows that she has sensitive skin and this works really well for her. So I just put that all over her skin to give it a nice clean base. I can't stress enough how important primers are for event makeup because it's just something that you want to make sure that your makeup still looks great throughout the whole day, and primers make a huge difference. Moving on to her brows, I just used my Anastasia Beverly Hills Dipbrow in the color Blonde. And when doing clients' makeup, I always like to start out with the eyes. The reason for this is because I normally get a lot of fallout from any sort of dark shadows that I'll do. And so I can still clean up that under eye area when I haven't applied makeup, whereas if I did my foundation first, then I'm unable to clean up any of that fallout. And as you can see, I like to outline the bottom of the brow first to make my shape and then go back in and fill in the rest of the brow shape. Next, I'm just going to set the Dipbrow with a brow powder. This is going to be the European Wax Center brow powder in the color Venice. This one is one of my favorites because the color is much more neutral cool than it is warm, and I notice a lot of other powders that I use pull a lot warmer and don't look right with my client's skin tones. In my consultation, she told me that she has a hard time having eyeshadow stick because she has kind of oily lids. So I decided to use my MAC paint pot in the color Soft Ochre. Who's texting me? So for anyone that has much more oily eyelids, I do really recommend the MAC paint pots. They're great and they last forever. If you have a little bit drier of skin, I like to use a concealer as an eyeshadow base. And next, just to set all of that primer, I like to use my Inglot matte shadow in the color, where is it? I wrote it down somewhere. Oh, number 351. It's just a light buff color. And then next, taking a little bit of concealer, I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me in the color 10. I'm going to be carving out her brow. When doing this, I'm just taking the product all the way up to that brow shape and just really cleaning up the under eye. It almost gives it the appearance that you just got like a fresh eyebrow wax or thread. And it really helps highlight that brow bone. And then notice that I'm working the concealer down to blend in with the eyeshadow primer. For my first transition color, I'm going to be picking up my Inglot matte eyeshadow in the number 368. This is just a light peachy orange, and I'm choosing that because her eyes are really light blue, so I really want to bring out that blue color in her eyes by using warm eyeshadow colors. I'm really buffing that in right above her crease, making sure that there's no harsh lines and that it blends flawlessly. For my next transition color, I'm picking up my Lorac Pro 2 palette and the color Nectar. This is just a little bit deeper of a pink peachy color, and I'm putting it right under where I put that Inglot 368. And again, just buffing it into that upper lid area to make sure that there's no harsh lines. For the outer corner, the first color I'm going to use is from the Lorac Pro 1 palette, and that's going to be the color Sable, and I'm just going to be buffing that on that outer edge of her eye, making sure that I'm really blending it in. And this is exactly why I did her eyes first, so that any of this dark fallout that falls below her eyes and makes her look like she has a black eye doesn't get on her foundation because I haven't done her foundation yet. And then once I'm all done buffing in that color Sable, I'm going to go back in with a smaller brush and apply a darker color. This is Espresso from the Pro 1 palette. I'm placing it on with the small brush and then buffing it in with that rounder pencil brush. I do this quite often. I use one brush to place the pigment on and I use a different clean brush to really blend it out. Let me know in the comments below if you guys would like to see a video just dedicated to brushes, maybe like what brushes are used for what, where I buy them, how I clean them, things like that, because I know that brushes can be really overwhelming and expensive, so I'll let you guys know my tips and tricks. For the lid color, I'm just packing on the color Light Pewter. This is from the Lorac Pro 3 palette. I love all three of these palettes. They are a staple in my kit. But I think the Pro 3 is my favorite. So light pewter is described as a light frosted beige color. And I did wet my brush before dipping into light pewter with my MAC Fix Plus. Whenever wetting your brush before putting on a shimmer shadow, it really makes it much more bright and metallic-y. I like to use this on the lid color. And now that we have the lid color on, I'm going to go back to the transition area and add more depth into her transition area with that color Nectar, really deepening it up, making sure that everything blends together. And same thing with that outer corner, I'm just going to dip back into Espresso with that smaller brush, go back in with the bigger fluffy brush and blend it out. I feel like the secret to great eyeshadow is lots of layers and lots of blending. Do you guys remember those paint by number kits that you used to have when you were little? And in the middle of it, you were going back and forth with all these different colors and you had no idea where it was going, but then by the end, it all looked like a great masterpiece. I feel like eyeshadow is the exact same. And I just wanted her lids to pop a little bit more, so I used the NYX Glitter Glue, and then I'm popping on a little bit of MAC Dazzle Shadow in She Sparkles. This is a light beigey champagne color with like little silver glitter in there. It's gorgeous. Then once, I'm losing my voice. And then once I am done, I'm just going to be cleaning up that under eye with the Garnier Micellar water, just getting rid of any of that dark shadow that fell underneath. For foundation, I mixed my Rimmel Stay Matte foundation in the number 103 True Ivory with the MAC Pro Longwear in NC20. She has oily skin, and I knew she was going to be outside in the heat. It was 100 degrees this day, so I wanted to use a matte foundation to make sure that it wouldn't move anywhere. And the Rimmel Stay Matte foundations are so underrated. I never hear anyone talking about these, and they are an absolute staple in my kit. I absolutely love them, although I can't use them alone. They need to be mixed with another foundation because they are way too thick on their own. But it is extremely high coverage and it just gives such an airbrushed look to the skin. The only thing I don't like about them is that they pull kind of warm. I set the foundation with a little bit of the Urban Decay All-Nighter Spray, and now I'm going in with my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the color Fair, and then blending it out with a small brush. I just recently got this concealer, and I think it's my new favorite. The only thing I don't like about it is the smell, which isn't bad, but I just don't love it, but it blends out beautifully and is such a great under eye highlight color. With whatever's left on my brush, I'm just going to bring a little bit onto the bridge of her nose and kind of the top of her forehead, a little bit on the chin area. And super important step, I'm going to be setting that concealer to make sure that it doesn't do any sort of creasing with my RCMA No Color Powder. If you don't set that under eye area within an hour, all of that concealer is just going to crease in all of those fine lines. For a bronzer, I'm going to start off with my Inglot palette. The first color I'm going to be using is number 506, and that's just a lighter warm shade. I'm really buffing that into the cheekbone. Once that's all blended, I'll take a smaller brush and that Inglot color 505 and really just define her cheeks, make a little bit more of a dramatic contour. I always like to start off light and keep building it up till it's deep enough. To go back to the under eye, I am taking that color Sable that we used on the outer corner and just brushing that underneath her lash line, really blending it in with a larger fluffy brush. For eyeliner, I am going in with my Inglot Gel Liner in the number 77 and a little bit of the Inglot Duraline to just really make that liner easy to use and really glide. If you guys haven't tried Inglot Duraline, it is a lifesaver for dried out products. I normally always start with the outer wing and then come back into that inner tear duct and fill in and then go back out to the wing and really perfect it and connect it to the bottom. Eyeliner is always tricky, so I always need to take my time on this step. For weddings, I always use a waterproof mascara. This is L'Oreal Voluminous in black with a disposable makeup wand. If you ever get your makeup done, make sure that they use disposable makeup wands. For highlight, I am using the Anastasia Glow Kit in Gleam, and the color is Crushed Pearl, and working that into her upper cheekbones. And next I'm just going to let her do a final check, let her tell me if she sees anything she doesn't like, and upon approval I'm going to do lashes. These are Adele Wispies, and for glue I use the House of Lashes Lash Adhesive, which is the bomb. I'm doing one last coat of mascara to blend her natural lashes in with the falsies, and we are all done. This is the finished product. I hope you guys liked this tutorial, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know if you like these videos, and I will continue to do them on my clients. And special thank you to Anastasia for letting me film this video of me doing your makeup. You were my guinea pig, and I appreciate it. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you later. Bye.